Actress Madeline Caroll was willing to walk away from her Hollywood dream when she cried out to God in a desperate prayer. The very next day, that prayer was answered. And today she's starring in a new movie that brings her faith together with her talent.
Hollywood actress Madeline Caroll has appeared in hit TV shows like NCIS and blockbuster movies like Santa Claus 3 and Mr. Popper's Penguins. But the role she's most excited about is the one in the upcoming major motion picture, I Can Only Imagine.
I pray for you all the time, and I hope that you find whatever it is that you're looking for out there.
The true story behind the hit song comes to theaters beginning March 16th.
Please welcome to the 700 Club, Madeline Caroll. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, start by telling us how the role Shannon became a reality in your life.
Oh, gosh. So it came a reality to my life because I literally was at a separate audition for commercial, actually. And in commercial auditions, they'll pair you up with, like, someone to be your mom or your family. So this woman that just so happened to get paired up with me to be my mom was like, "You're Madeline Caroll, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "You're a believer, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she said, "You need to go out for that new film, I Can Only Imagine." And I was like the song?" And she said, "Yeah, like the song." So as soon as I heard it, I knew that it was going to be something really special because the song obviously is just so beyond special and amazing.
It really is.
And so I called my manager and I was like, "You have to get me in for this project." And so she did. She called and we set up a meeting, and it just so happened when she called them that they had been trying to get a hold of me.
Really?
So totally a God thing. Totally
confirmation.
Confirmation.
It was a God thing, yes.
And I went in and I met with them, and we literally just talked about God for an hour. It was unbelievable. And I've never did that before. And so I left and I just had this beautiful piece, and I said to my mom, "You know, Mom, if I don't get it, it's okay, because I know that there are other people in the industry trying to do this too now." And it just blessed me and encouraged me. And I thought, honestly, at first that that's why God had me meet them, was just to encourage me, because at the time that it came, I was just so broken. And so it was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Well, this is a faith-based film, obviously. How has that been different from anything else you've done in the industry?
Very different. Starting even with, like I said, the audition process and everything, just the people that I was dealing with was so different. And not to say that there aren't kind, beautiful people that I've worked with, just people who are more in your mindset and mission. And then when I got on set, just every day, John and Andy Irwin were literally like two big brothers to me, just encouraging me and giving me, you know, words of confirmation that I was doing the right thing and that I stayed from the certain parts I didn't take for a purpose. And I've never heard that before. I never got told that. Generally, I was, you know, saying no, and people weren't very happy about it. But just being encouraged constantly and being fed the word daily on a set was so bizarre and different.
Not the norm.
Not the norm at all, and just beautiful experience.
In the process of the role that you got, did you get to meet the real Shannon?
I actually just met her for the first time the other night at the premiere. And I literally was like watching it like this, like, what is she going to think? How'd I do? And just meeting her in real life, to be honest with you, just really blessed me, because I was like, okay, God, I understand why you had me, you know, do this. And the things that I said to her and the things she said to me were just such confirmation. And she's just a beautiful woman of God. And I told her, I was like, you don't realize this because you're a real life person, but for me to read you and your life on paper, you know, I see scripts all the time that aren't edifying at all. And to have her character come along, I said, you don't know that you're a breath of fresh air to me. She started to cry, but it was just awesome to meet her.
You started modeling when you were 3 and had a dream job offer at 10 that you turned down. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I always loved the Lord, always was very involved in church, and I'm so thankful that I found him at such a young age, because it really gave me roots, strong roots. So when I hit those decisions, I was able to make them, you know, with grace and with surety.
And with certainty.
With certainty. And so I got offered this part, this amazing, you know, role that was, there's certain things that come along that you just know, like, this is going to make you big.
Right.
Like, this is going to make your life so much easier. You won't have to audition anymore. You won't have to. And so that was one of those things. And the director, I have to say, was a beautiful person. And lovely, and I really thought that it was something from God. And so after originally signing on, I ended up going to church, and that night got called up by the pastor randomly to come up and pray for a little boy to receive hearing. And so I went up, prayed for him, came back, sat in my seat, and I looked at my mom. I was like, Mom, I can't do this movie. She said, why? I said, because it's just not going to line up with where I feel God's leading me. And thank God they were very understanding. Like I said, beautiful people. But the director ended up sending me this beautiful Tiffany cross the next day. Wow. And just understood what I was standing for.
You had refused by the time you were 18 so many roles that work stopped coming. Did that scare you a little bit?
It did, but to be honest with you, I just was more in a place of like, okay, God, I literally don't feel your presence in this anymore. I was like, is this not where you've called me? Is this no longer, you know, where I'm meant to be? Am I mishearing you? But I always, you know, hung on to the fact that it was a God's dream for my life and not really something I conjured up on my own, because at 3.5, it just so happened that I was in a nail salon and a talent agent found me. So I kind of hung on to that, and so I was very confused. I was like, God, I just don't get it. Like, what is it that you desire of me? But more than anything, I just craved God's presence in it. So I literally went into a bathroom this time last year, cried my eyes out, and let my dream die before God. And I said, God, I love you more than I love this. And even though it breaks my heart and I'm going to have to let this go, I just want you to know that you're bigger and I love you more than this. And literally the next day, God answered my prayer.
You know, there's something about letting the dream that could have been yours die before God can give His dream to you and have you know that you know that you know that it's from Him. So now you've done this role of Shannon. Has it opened up other things for you?
It has opened up a ridiculous amount of things for me, but not even in Hollywood. Just like those things are wonderful too, but just being able to tell my story to people. And to be honest with you, this is such a blessing. I've literally cried this morning and read my Bible before coming here, because 10 years ago, I was 10 years old, sitting in my room watching this show every single day before I would go to sleep. And I literally prayed at that time, God, wouldn't that be something to be there one day? I would love that, Lord. And now I'm here. And that's through this film. And just God's just been opening doors like that, just left and right, and just been able to be a blessing to people. And it's been so special.
Well, He gives you the desires of your heart. The movie is called I Can Only Imagine. It opens in theaters on March 16th. There's also a new book out called I Can Only Imagine, and it's a memoir written by Bart Millard, the lead singer of Mercy Me. It's available wherever books are sold. And Madeline, we wish you the best as God leads you down paths of His making.
Thank you.
Wonderful.